A decade ago, Grand Rapids community leaders crafted GR Forward, a plan to guide development in the city's urban core over the next 10 years. Stay tuned to find out how we did and what's to come in Grand Rapids downtown development.
Welcome to Coffee with Steve and Margot. I'm Steve Drake.
And I'm Margot Drake. This morning, we are interviewing Brian McVicar, reporter for MLive, who just interviewed Steve and I for being part of that population growth in downtown Grand Rapids. And now we get to interview you, Brian. Good morning.
Morning, Brian.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is so exciting.
Pleasure to have you.
So, Brian, we always start out by saying, tell everyone who you are, what you do, and your favorite thing about West Michigan.
Yeah, I'm Brian McVicar. I'm a reporter with MLive based in Grand Rapids. I cover an assortment of topics for MLive, primarily with a focus on growth, business, and development here in the city. One of my favorite things about Grand Rapids is all the great restaurants and cultural institutions we have here in town, as well as all the great natural areas, the river, and the short distance we are from Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, that is beautiful.
And there's a ton of stuff going on right now to make that even better, isn't it?
Yes. So Brian just did two extraordinary articles for MLive. One is called Downtown Grand Rapids Sees Big Population Bump, but remains short of its ambitious goal. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And the second is See the Status of 11 Big Goals Created to Move Grand Rapids Forward. So Brian, let's start with the big population bump. Take us back 10 years to when this was crafted, and what was the vision 10 years ago in 2015?
Perfect. Yeah. 10 years ago in 2015, a host of residents and community leaders gathered to create GR Forward, which was essentially a master plan and blueprint for the downtown's growth over the next decade. It included a host of goals ranging from development along the riverfront to attracting more businesses, more amenities, more cultural and placemaking activities. And one of the big goals in the plan was kind of the goal of boosting the downtown population to 12,000 residents. At the time when the plan was crafted, downtown had an estimated 5,000 residents. And today, 10 years later, that has increased to about 8,000 folks living downtown. So a big growth, not quite hitting that ambitious 12,000 goal, but growth that city leaders and other downtown stakeholders are pleased to see.
Well, one thing that they did not anticipate was a global pandemic, which slowed development down here considerably. So we raised the population by about 3,000 during that time period. And Steve and I were one of those 3,000 that came down. We moved here in
2018 or 19?
Late 2018, yeah. Early 2019. So we are one of those 3,000. And we came down here for all the reasons that you are covering in your stories. So I highly recommend people go to MLive and check out those stories to see. We only have 10 minutes together this morning, but you did such an incredible job talking to very hard to reach people and gathering the information on the development down here. So let's talk about some of in the second article, you talk about 11 big goals that are going to move Grand Rapids forward, but let's talk about a couple of the big ones or your favorites that you wanted to discuss this morning that are really going to drive the economy here and potentially the population as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of big projects were envisioned. One of the big ones that comes to mind, which encompasses a lot of stuff happening, is development along the riverfront. I think going back decades, the Grand River, city leaders often say, was kind of overlooked as a part of the city. At one point, it was more polluted and maybe not as nice as it is today. And there's been a big push to really put the riverfront at the kind of forefront of development in the city. And so when GR Forward was crafted, there was a big vision to have more parks and trails along the waterway, and to also do more kind of development, more businesses, residential development along the waterway to really put the Grand River at the forefront of the city as a kind of just a destination where people could gather and enjoy kind of the natural beauty along the waterway. And there's been a lot of progress over since then. A new kind of regional riverfront trail network known as the Grand River Greenway passes through downtown. And so there's been a lot of work to kind of flesh out the existing trailways and strengthen them and add to them with new sections that weren't already part of the riverfront trail. So that work is ongoing now. One of those trails is going to be right alongside the western edge of the new 12,000 seat Aquasure amphitheater that's scheduled to open in May of 2026. That's going to be the trail is going to allow residents to walk along the waterfront to the venue, and even enter the venue from the waterfront if they wish to do so. There'll be a park right near the amphitheater as well, kind of a small pocket park. So really just trying to make it a place, kind of a real destination where people can gather not only for concerts, but just for other activities along the river's edge and to walk that stretch of the river. As you folks know, there's work to build other parks along the waterway or to rebuild those. Canal Park in the Monroe North neighborhood being one of those that's getting a ground up rebuild, and Oxford Trail, which will connect to the Grand River Greenway, kind of from some of the southwest neighborhoods, Roosevelt Park, the Black Hills neighborhood. So folks from that part of town can have easy access to use this trail network to get downtown and along the riverfront. And even beyond Grand Rapids, the goal one day is to have this Grand River Greenway connecting all the way from Lowell on the east side of Kent County to Lake Michigan.
Michigan.
Conceivably, one day folks could travel on this trail network all the way from Grand Rapids to Lake Michigan, which is no doubt an exciting thing for many residents who love to walk or do some longer bike rides, I should say, to the water.
I love that. That's ambitious, and buying land to fill in some of the spots is expensive and takes time, and it's litigious, but it's such a cool goal to have that. One of the things that you said about the park, that it's a connection park in front of the new amphitheater, it really is going to connect the current walkway that exists to Millennium Park, which I think is a great addition. That's so needed, because now when you want to go to Millennium Park, you really either have to run on the roads or walk on the roads or drive and then park. So that'll be a great addition.
And we were looking at the map over the weekend. They are connecting Riverside Park through downtown to the
That's a great one.
Park and amphitheater area, and then over to where Steve was talking about. So that was fun to see too.
So we've got this greenway. We've heard about modifying or changing the wet side of the river. So some of the features in the river to put the rapids back in Grand Rapids. We've got huge building tower projects, soccer stadium, amphitheater. What do you think? I mean, we had a chat before we went on video. What do we think that the outcome of all this is? We don't just build to build, but
why?
What do you think the long-term vision of all this work and money is going to be?
And when I speak with city leaders about that, I think the big goal is to make Grand Rapids an even more exciting or a good place where people want to live, work, and play. make it a community where new business that's more attractive to new businesses, so employees can have access to great amenities, great recreational amenities, as well as the new sort of entertainment amenities that'll come through the addition of the amphitheater and the soccer stadium. So I think it's really trying to continue to make sure Grand Rapids has a name for itself as an exciting community where people want to live and relocate, and that there's lots of stuff to do. And there's also a big economic component there too. A lot's being invested in these projects, and there's been a lot of economic impact studies that have been conducted showing that the addition of these new amenities will attract more visitors to the city, spur more economic activity, which is good for businesses and the community's tax base. So that's also kind of a big driving goal, to generate economic activity, and so that's another big thing happening.
So we want 4,000 more people to move downtown, but really they would love corporations to up and move their business to Grand Rapids. That's one of the big intents of this entire thing. I think that could be incredible. It really could put Grand Rapids on the map as a regional.
It is on the map.
It is on the map, technically.
Though, but I mean, LinkedIn, #1 up and coming city.
All right, Margot's kicking me.
Right?
We've got to put Brian's. Anyone that has questions, please contact Brian via his email. He's been great with us, so he's a huge knowledge of all this stuff going on.
Yes, Brian McVicar, reporter, MLive, and the Grand Rapids Press. So you can go to mlive.com or reach out to him via email, bmcvicar, MCVICAR @mlive.com.
Perfect. That's right.
We could talk to you for another hour.
We could.
All of these exciting things, plus our interview with Kara Wood from Grand Action 2.0 last week, and we had a big announcement over the weekend on the soccer team. Do you want to break the news to our viewers?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So last December in 2024, the team's owners, David Van Andel and Dan DeVos, announced they were bringing an MLS Next Pro soccer team to Grand Rapids, who would be the home team for Amway Stadium, the new 8,500 seat soccer stadium scheduled to open in May or spring of 2027. And on Saturday at Calder Plaza at a community event, the name of the team was announced, and that name is Athletic Club Grand Rapids, AC Grand Rapids for short. That's the logo you'll see on the scarves and other sort of materials that come with the team. And so, yeah, I spoke with some folks over there at the event on Saturday, and some soccer fans were out in force, and they were very excited about the prospect of being able to watch professional soccer right here in their hometown, as opposed to having to travel elsewhere or tune in on the TV. So it was a big announcement in kind of the journey of bringing a team here. So it was an exciting moment.
That is cool. Well, I think the build-up that they did was perfect.
Brian, this is our first interview, but let it not be our last.
We got to do this again. There's more to talk about.
So many more things to talk about to come. And soccer is a sport I understand. So I played for 12 years, and I am so excited for that team to come here. And so we are going to wrap up this segment by asking our viewers, if you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, share this episode, share the pride of Grand Rapids, and remember to hit the subscribe and the bell so you never miss an episode.
And if you're watching from Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, follow us to keep up with all the things we're talking about in West Michigan. And Brian, thank you for being one of those cool people that make West Michigan an extraordinary place to call home. Until next time, everybody. Thanks, Brian. Cheers, everybody.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for your time.